Alright, today we got a brand new episode of The Boys Season 4. You all wanted to see a full review of the series thus far, so today I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling about Season 4 so far. Alright, so going into this, The Boys is a show that I've been enjoying so far. I recently watched the first 2 seasons, and then I finally got around to watching the 3rd season. I thought the 3rd season was perfect. I thought it was incredible. First 2 seasons were pretty fun, so this is a show that I have been enjoying. I was thoroughly looking forward to this season, and the moment it came out, I was actually at a youth camp in Oklahoma, a youth church camp, so couldn't really watch The Boys on a church trip, so I was on the way home, I scrolled on Twitter, a lot of stuff about The Boys, and I was super excited for the season. Even more, I have shorts up on my channel. I did like a first 3 episodes reaction, and then I did the 4th episode, then I did the 5th episode that came out earlier. But what is my full reaction to this season as a whole thus far? I'm telling you here in this video, but before I get started, please make sure to comment down below what is your opinions on The Boys Season 4 thus far, and while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button, hit the bell so you never miss another video, and most importantly, subscribe. At 174 right now. If we get to 200 by the middle of July, there will be a special video coming for you guys. And with that said, let's get started talking about The Boys Season 4. And overall, this is complicated to talk about. So the first 3 episodes, I thought they were more like the first 2 seasons, where the first 2 seasons I thought were pretty good. Season 1 didn't feel as fun as it could have been. Season 2 was really good throughout, but in the future, it just didn't have the things that made us latch on, and that's how that first 3 episodes of the series were. But episode 4 and 5 remind me kind of Season 3. Season 3 was special, you know. When it came out, I think I was either 16 or about to turn 17 years old that year. And obviously, I wasn't allowed to watch this show because I live in a Christian household, and it's this show. So, growing up, like when it came out, I even remember in the theater watching a movie with my family, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, Mom, Dad, can I watch this? And they're like, no, not at all. And so even when Season 3 came out, it was so special. Even though I didn't watch the show, I still remember even being at work, listening to a podcast. Everybody was gushing about this show. Even if it wasn't even a podcast about the show, everybody was talking about it. I saw clips on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on everything. And it was just so good. It's such a rave. And then last month when I finally got around to watching it, it was just as special as everybody said it was. It was just as good. And there's no way they're going to make a better season than Season 3 of the show because it was just that good. And these last 2 episodes kind of remind me of that, where people are talking about it, specifically Season 4, or not Season 4 because this is Season 4, but Episode 4. Because it's just so special. There's special things happening. It doesn't have anything like Soldier Boy coming in. That was probably what really made Season 3 pop. But there's plenty of special things. So here's how this video is going to go down. We're just going to kind of walk through the show so far. Talk about the things I liked about it and some things I didn't like about it. Specifically starting with the character arcs. Let's move on to the character arcs right now. And there's some pretty good character arcs in this season, if I do say so myself. One of my favorites is Homelander's character arc right now. From the beginning of the season, he knows he's going old. He knows he needs to do something. And so he teams up with Sister Sage, the smartest person on Earth. And they come up with this whole plot to, I don't really know what Homelander's trying to do. He's an evil. He's evil. So that's all you need to know. And so I find that whole plot with Sister Sage to be kind of good. I think it's pretty good so far. That was, for the longest time, my favorite plotline, or at least for the first 3 episodes. But then when you move on, you get plotlines with almost every character, specifically one being Annie and her and the new character Firecracker's relationship. And I think that's a really good one, because in episode 4, something besides Homelander just going to his roots, which we'll talk about in just a minute, other than that, we get just this amazing sequence of Firecracker announcing to the world that Annie was pregnant and had an abortion. Something we didn't know. And when that happened, I was shocked. I was shocked out of my mind. That was crazy. And then what happens after? And even, like, there's people saying that it kind of is a weak twist why she hates Annie. And I find it just to be kind of charming because this show is messed up. And so why not have two characters absolutely hate each other because back at a dance recital when they were kids, or a superhero pageant, whatever it is, Annie started making up rumors about her. So what? I mean, that's why they hate each other. And just in this show, it's crazy. Like, the stuff that this show pulls, and then it's just like, yeah, I hate you because you told me all these rumors back when I was a kid. So I'm gonna take that into my adulthood. It's crazy. It's something that no one would ever expect, but it kind of works in the context of the show. Frenchie's got a character arc. I don't think his was as compelling until episode 5. I think in episode 5 it's when it really goes, because you don't expect him to do anything and he just walks into the police station, hey, I've killed people, and he turns himself in. That's pretty compelling. And as much as I didn't care about his romance with his boyfriend, I didn't care about any of that really until like episode 4, when he was kind of like, hey, I killed your family. That was me. And so finally getting that confession out kind of worked, but it just wasn't the most compelling arc to where he'd constantly have these talks with Kimiko like, hey, I'm gay. But yeah, okay, that wasn't as compelling, but it's starting to really spice up, and in this more current episode, the one that aired today, I thought was pretty good. So I like that. Other characters, we got Billy Butcher. He's got a great character arc going on so far. So all he wants to do is rescue Ryan. So in season 3, he basically told Ryan to screw off, and all he wants to do is rescue him from Homelander. We'll talk about Ryan in a minute. But like, he's got this thing going on, and we kind of saw it a little bit in episode 5 with the rabbit and the things that start coming out of the rabbit, and we start to just think, yeah, that's what's coming out of Butcher. He's got something in him. We haven't seen it, but when he killed Ezekiel, that was crazy. We didn't see any of that, but just waking up with blood everywhere was pretty cool. And so I'm just really interested to see where that goes with Billy Butcher. Speaking of Ryan, him and his relationship with Homelander, them two, it's kind of complicated because after the first 3 episodes, it's kind of like, you know what, I don't like you anymore, Homelander, I'm gonna go to Billy Butcher. But then, like, in this current episode, he started to turn into a little Homelander, and just for a minute, I thought it felt just a little bit out of context of the character. I don't feel like Ryan would actually do that, just start saying, hey, you should smack him. But it was kind of for the good of things in that situation, and it was a pretty good sequence. Every time Homelander's on screen in this entire season, it has been so tense. Whether it's the beginning of the show where he's just like, yo, A-Train, or yo, Deep, blow A-Train. That, like, dang, okay, we're going there. That's crazy. That is a crazy take to get him there. And when we were at that scene, or the whole episode 4, where he is probably the best he's ever been in this entire show, when he goes home and he pretty much tortures these people to their death, and then that final scene, my wallpaper is of him and the American flag all bloody. It's a spectacular shot. But, and even like, especially in this 5th episode, I was terrified. Absolutely terrified every time he was on screen, whether it's him with Ryan and then smacking the crap out of the director guy because of what he was doing, or whether it was just that first sequence he was in the episode. Absolutely terrified me, because you don't know what he can do. He snapped in the last episode. He can just use the laser eyes and kill anyone, and it's pretty terrifying once you think of that, because he's actually really scary, and Anthony Starr is a fantastic actor, so every sequence he's in scared the crap out of me. I think he's great and has one of the best character arcs of this season thus far. The comedy, season 3 was freaking hilarious. This season, kind of not as funny, but episode 5 was really funny. There's a sequence where Frenchie's like that man is in no condition to, you know, if you know, you know. But it was genuinely funny. Stan Edgar, genuinely funny there. So, I mean, it has its comedic moments. It's got its messed up moments. There's one sequence with the guy who just kind of duplicates himself. That sequence, if you know what if you know, you know, that I don't think worked as well. I feel like it was just Edge to be Edge, but there's some messed up sequences, especially, oh, we gotta talk about Hughie's character arc. I forgot about Hughie. Man, how can I forget that? I think Hughie's is the best one. Hughie's is the best one of the entire season so far. So Hughie's dad has a stroke, and so Hughie's kind of just with Hughie Sr. the entire time. And at the end of episode 4, they gave him the V, and so he reawakens. He's now Soup, and you feel that because Hughie now has his family back. He has his mother, he has his dad. They get one sequence that just sit there and talk, and then Hughie's dad goes absolutely crazy, starts killing everybody. That was an intense sequence, but besides the intense sequence, because you know he could just like face through walls, and you just saw him, he just walked through somebody and they're dead. It's awesome. It was awesome. But besides that, then the sequence where Hughie has to kill his dad. That was, man, I did not think that was gonna happen, but when it did, it was emotional. Probably the best sequence in the entire season. Probably the best sequence in, one of the best sequences in the entire shows. Because, yeah, I would have liked to see it progress on a little more rather than it just being one episode, but it really kind of worked because, you know, it's a Soup, and he's like, what have we done? And he had to kill his dad, and it was great. I think Hughie has the best character arc so far. How can I just forget about Hughie? Like, I'm so caught up in like all the superhero stuff, everything going on with the main story, I kind of forgot about Hughie's little relationship with his dad there, and it's emotional, and it was done absolutely perfectly in this 5th episode. But I genuinely think episode 4 and 5 are all-timers. I think they're some of the best episodes that this show has had. The episodes 1, 2, and 3, more like the first 2 seasons, where they're good, but they're not as good as they possibly could have been. So no final score here, because obviously we still have 3 more episodes to go. But The Boys season 4, pretty great. After these last 2 episodes, I cannot wait to see how the final 3 episodes happen. I have loved this show so far this season. It's pretty great. Stay tuned. My next video will be A Quiet Place Day 1 review. I've actually already seen it. I will film that tomorrow because it's late. I still got to edit this one. But also, I'm going to try to finish The Bear season 3. That's my main goal right now, is finishing The Bear season 3, have a review of that, have a ranking of the seasons, have a ranking of the Quiet Place movies, and then I will also have a Pixar tier list ranking. That'll come next week. So thank you for clicking on this video. Comment down below, what did you guys think of The Boys season 4 thus far? And with that said, subscribe to join the Nerd Army. Peace out.